My name is Corbett Drummy. I work on Popular Pays. We connect brands and Instagrammers. It can be something as simple as someone walking into a local merchant and getting a free cup of coffee in exchange for a post, all the way to a paid professional getting a gig from Nike in exchange for posting to their 50,000 followers. Well, all right, so you gotta hear the actual story of when Pop Pays started. It's a lot less glamorous than that. And I think sometimes powerful motivations that you have can be sparked by seemingly really silly events. So my co-founder was the genesis of the idea when we were at a house party and he was leaning against my fridge, drunk, one night. And he said, "We should throw a party that you can't get into unless you have 500 Instagram followers." And that was the start of the whole journey. And of course, going through and building out what it became into, the motivation, it comes from your inner desires and wishes and wants. So it's powered by something deeper, but the actual start was just silly. It was a beer or two at a party. I think it all goes back to how every industry is decentralizing. So if you look at what's happening to industries like taxis, you have UberX, or Airbnb, you have, they're decentralizing hotels. So we knew that's happening to advertising too. Right now, advertising is just a brand talking about itself and spitting out a message on TV to an audience. But what it's going to transform into is people talking to each other, like peer-to-peer. So if we could build something that connects brands with people who want to talk about them, that would usher in a new era of advertising. That's where advertising is heading, so we're trying to build that system that connects everyone. Pop Pays needs to exist because advertising sucks. It's so fake. Everyone can see through it. Everyone's hyper aware about advertising. And at its true, most basic premise, advertising should be something helpful. It actually should show you things that you want to see or things that make your life better. And it's so far removed from that, it's disgusting. So if you can make it a bit more authentic and a bit more like casual, conversational, word-of-mouth recommendations, then that's where we need to pivot to. That's where we need to get to. Right now, advertising's still stuck in the old method of getting a huge audience together and then showcasing a message to them. It's this old TV model. We've had it through radio, TV, and then we've brought that to Facebook. Facebook brought together the largest audience the world's ever seen, over 1 billion people, but they're still just having a brand spit out a message to all those people. And what it's going to turn into is a more peer-to-peer network, and that's what every industry is leaning towards. Airbnb is doing that with hotels. They're connecting consumer to consumer. UberX is building a platform that decentralizes taxis. And we're doing that for advertising. It's now going to be people talking to each other in a much more natural way than a brand just broadcasting a message to the masses. So I think the biggest issue that you'll encounter, the biggest challenge, it will always be with people. And it's not saying that some people are bad or good. Most everyone's acting in the way that they think is best and the way they think is good, but the dynamics are so tricky. You have to bring together a group of people and work with them to get somewhere. But oftentimes you don't know these people from before and you're figuring things out as you go. And people play off each other in different ways. And when you're building a team, you need to adjust all these really human elements and factors. And what's funny is what keeps you up at night is never, something executional like, oh, this thing went wrong during the day or whatever. It's always some person keeping you up at night. Like, is this person going to quit? Are they not engaged? Am I paying them too little? What's going on? Are they going to just leave tomorrow? You're always thinking about the people. You're never thinking about these operational things. So mastering the team dynamics and just getting teammates that you really are proud of and who work together well, that's the whole trick. And sometimes I'm surprised we're still around with all the mistakes we've made. I think we were lucky to adjust in time to keep it going and finally to be successful. But we've made all the most basic mistakes you can. And it's funny how when you're just starting something, everyone else will give you advice, but you don't listen to it. And you only learn it when you make mistakes the hard way. But if you can listen and truly listen to people, try to take their advice. And I mean, you might know something they don't, and so their advice might not be worthwhile, but I guarantee if you talk to some people who've done it before, you can avoid 80% of the mistakes that you're gonna make, and you'll save yourself a year in time. If I was on a stage in front of 1 billion people, I would try to knock some sense into them, shake them awake, and get them to think, if you only have one shot, you only have one life, what are you gonna spend it doing? You cannot waste your time. You really don't have that much time at all, and you need to take some time and reflect and think, if you can build one thing, if you have a life's work, what is your life's work going to be? You're gonna be spending so much time pursuing that. And all the people in your life will be revolving around that. So think hard about what you want to represent, what you want to do in this world. Yeah, I wear the same thing every day. A white t-shirt and jeans, and if it's real cold, a hoodie, just so I don't have to think about what I'm wearing. And I even sublease places that are fully furnished just so I don't have to go out and buy furniture or deal with that shit. So last year, I've just been hopping into different places, different homes for like 3 months at a time, just staying there. That way, I wake up, I eat the same thing, I do the same thing, I wear the same thing. That way I don't have to think about any of that shit.